Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a nice crowd here tonight, and that was a good echo. I think it was coming from the back. The scouts are used to saying that very loud and clearly. We appreciate it. Okay, moving on into the agenda, approval of minutes. You all have had a chance to review them and look at them. Any additions or changes? And they stand as is. Report of town manager, Mr. Warner.
Thank you, Mayor Stanley, members of council. Just briefly tonight, I did want to report on an incident that occurred last week involving a truck that damaged some overhead fiber optic lines. That led to a disruption of operations for us. I don't think we were the only ones. I think there were other businesses in town that were impacted. In our case, it knocked out phone and internet service, primarily affecting public works, electric, and the community development offices. So that led to some customer service issues that we do have resolved, knock on wood. Our electric and IT staff did work directly with the appropriate provider to restore service, but we will continue to monitor that issue, and I just wanted to apologize for any inconvenience to citizens and customers that arose from that event. And that's all I have tonight.
Well, okay. Appearances before council. I have a couple here. First one is Pastor John Sines. Right up front. Just come up, state your name and address, and tell us what's on your mind.
Good evening, council. My name is Pastor John Sines Jr. I'm the senior pastor of Rock Pike Baptist Church in Forest, Virginia, and I've come to offer invocation this evening. I've provided you a copy of my prayer in front of you for your records. Will you pray with me? Heavenly Father, creator of all things, master of the universe, and giver of all life, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we thank you for the blessings of this day. We thank you for this town council and those who have answered the call to represent this wonderful little town here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Your word teaches us that when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So we ask for your wisdom this evening on this council. We pray that they will rule with righteousness, humility, and with a servant's heart. We pray, O Lord, that as they share this authority that has been ordained by you, Lord, that Mayor Stanley, Vice Mayor Updike, Mr. Haley, Mr. Foreman, Mr. Ippolito, Mr. Foster, and Mr. Evans all would find counsel in you, Lord, and in your word as they run our great town. They are in your hands, Lord, and we ask that your spirit would guide them as you do the rivers of water while they conduct the business of this community. We thank you for this gathering. We thank you for this responsibility, but most of all, Lord, we thank you for giving your son, Jesus, born of a virgin, who died on a cross, who rose again in supernatural splendor to redeem a falling world, and who is at the right hand of the Father, ready to gather his church. For it's in his name we pray and give thanks. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, council.
Thank you, Pastor Sines. We appreciate it. All right, next is Susan Kirby. Susan, I think you know the routine.
I think I've heard it too. Gentlemen, my name is Susan Kirby, and I live at 926 Watson Place. I'm the wife of the man that says he does not need Google or AI because of me. I know all too well that in your position, public comment time should also be referred to as complaint time. And unfortunately, I'm no exception to that concept. I understand tonight that you'll be voting on a design from Hurt & Profit to change parts of Longwood Avenue to 2 lanes and add bike paths. The problem I have isn't necessarily about the design, but more about the procedure of your vote. You appointed a committee that, under your direction, looked at the speed limit on Longwood and they came back to you with a recommendation to revert the speed back to 35, a recommendation which you ignored. Why would you even bother to appoint a committee just to ignore the research and recommendations? Did your personal research refute their presentation, or are you just acting on your personal desires? Has it been taken into consideration the road as a main thoroughfare to the hospital and taking away 4 lanes will drastically diminish the safety of being able to pull to the side to allow an ambulance to pass? Your vote tonight is on a presentation just appearing as an informational item for the first time. What time are you really giving the citizens to respond to the proposal? How are you informing citizens of the proposal? How can you as a council member properly digest the information that you just received a while ago, supposedly, and make a sound and proper decision that will affect most of the motorists in the town in just a few minutes? To me, the only way you can justify it is if you have known about this for some time and you didn't bother to inform your constituents, the people who elected you to represent their best interest. Complacency implying consent is one thing, but the lack of transparency leaves one to question if the seeming lack of citizen input is from complacency or not having the information to voice an opinion to their representative. I believe in a wild concept of government for the people, by the people, and I urge you to work on your transparency. I have read many posts say the council is, as a whole, is shady, and I truly hope and pray that that is not the way that you want your image to project. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next is Danny Kirby. And you still are around.
Fine. So far, so good.
You know the routine, your address, and
Danny Kirby, 926 Watson Place. Gentlemen, I think your earlier decision concerning the lowering of the speed limit on Longwood Avenue was prematurely thought out. I thought it was fine just the way it was. Although around Oak Street, before getting to North Street, it should be posted 25 miles per hour, if it isn't already. The brief sketch on the agenda by Hurt and Profit regarding the pavement markings are a little misleading to me. They reference the intersections of Oakwood and Longwood and the intersections of North and Longwood, or if this is going to be the whole length of Longwood Avenue in its entirety. Either way, it's going to become confusing for some drivers. I know I'm not the only one that had an issue with the speed limit change to begin with. Your own street committee recommended that you all revisit it. I'm all for safety, gentlemen, but the only way that that's going to happen is through enforcement. Thank you, gentlemen.
thank you. Next is Troop 180. Did someone want to come up and speak on the troop's behalf?
Hello, I'm David Camp. I'm the Scoutmaster of the Boys Troop, Troop 180 in Forest, Virginia. And I live in Forest, it's 216 Otterview Road, Forest, Virginia 24551. And tonight we're here to observe our government in action. We're working on, several of our scouts are working on the citizenship and the community requirement to attend a town meeting and kind of see a couple different viewpoints to the same point. So we're hopeful that maybe we'll have a little bit of that tonight. And also a communications requirement. So thank you for having us, and we look forward to it.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you coming. And last is Leslie Mahaffey. You also know the routine, Leslie.
Hello, Council. My name is Leslie Mahaffey, 1517 Woodland Road here in town. Just wanted to give you an update from the museum primarily. We had applied for a grant with Lynchburg Community Trust and was able to get new signage put on the side of the building. that is all now in place. You'll notice there at the one-way sign going into the museum that is a new sign. It's blue and cream and has our logo on it. It looks much better than what was there. And also today, the same company that we hired to do the signage, we ended up reaching out to them about museum banners, the historical banners. Y'all know I've been talking about these banners for a long time. I ran into some obstacles with the vendor that we had previously used for some of the banners here in town. So I sought a local company, K&K Signs, here in town. Right outside of town here on 460. And they delivered this afternoon. I just wanted to show everybody one of these. This is of course, is President Thomas Jefferson. And he has his residence there at Poplar Forest. This is just one example of the banners. I'll be delivering these to Tom in the morning, so hopefully by the end of the week or soon thereafter, he can get these banners up. And the blue and the cream kind of go with what our signage is on the building as well. So I'm very pleased with that. I know that I had somebody else to reach out to me and, Leslie, how did you get these banners in town? And first I told them that they'd have to come up with a design and they would have to follow the policy that was established by council. And so that was provided to them. And he wants to do this on historical churches throughout the community. So I thought that was kind of unique and something different that we haven't seen. So I'll be talking to him and let him know. Please go to K&K and support our people here in Bedford. So, thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. They do great work. I've used them for years for my campaign signs. So you tell them what you want and they'll get it printed for you. All right. I believe that is it. Council comments. Stacy, you want to start it off?
I'll start it off. Thank everybody for being here this evening. Thank you Boy Scouts for being here. Thank all the citizens for being here for watching. And like I said, hope everything is going good. We're going into the month of August now, so maybe the weather will cool down a little bit. It ain't cooled down much, but it's been raining a whole lot. So, but hopefully that we'll have a better fall coming up. So, y'all have a good evening.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for attending the meeting, and I really appreciate all the comments. We're listening to you, and Troop 180, we appreciate you being here and hope you learned something from this meeting.
I appreciate everybody being here tonight. Pastor Signs for your prayer over top of us. Susan and Danny, that y'all still married, not fighting.
For now.
Troop 180, hopefully y'all will be able to learn something from us this evening. Leslie, the banners do look great. We appreciate it. And thank all of y'all for coming out this evening. We appreciate your input and everything that y'all can do to help us along in our decisions.
You next.
Me, okay. You change things up all the time. Did you get this year's signs from KK?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal.
I always use the same ones over and over.
Good deal. Thank you everyone for being here. Really appreciate the input. It's good to have the folks from the town coming and businesses from, wherever coming and talking to us about, what their concerns are. It really helps us with direction and moving the town forward. Pastor Signs, thank you. Thank you as usual. And Leslie, the signs do look awesome. And the other day I was driving through town, I went, what's different about that sign? That's sharp.
Yes, it does look good.
Yes. From time to time, I'll go on Facebook and see things and get stirred up. And anyway, but someone approached me not too long ago about something they'd read on Facebook, and it was someone that was promoting the use of a device that was going to save them money on their electricity. and asked me what I thought about it. And I said, well, in most cases, they're scams. And this person went on to say, well, the one that made this post says that it's saving them about $100 a month. Well, okay, still it's probably a scam. But if it's not a scam, and if it is something that's altering your meter to read slower, well, that's theft. So, you're either just not paying attention to what's going on around you, or you're a criminal. Just don't do those kind of things. It's just going to get you in trouble. But glad that you're here.
Dwight?
No, just kidding. I can thank everybody there for being here, especially watching by YouTube. And again, anyway, I went on vacation a couple weeks ago, and anyway, I always like to take like a little bypass anyway, to visit little small towns. And one of the little towns I went into was Seagrove, North Carolina, and it was like supposed to be the pottery capital of the world. And before I left, I took a bunch of brochures about Bedford, and I was museum, this, that, and the other, But far better with the, with up the flags, the banners, and the cleanliness of this town, and anyway, the citizens. You can't ask for a better place to live and a better place to serve. And again, we do appreciate y'all's, y'all's input, y'all's actual comment. But again, we have to take in what's best for the citizens, if you know what I mean. It's just like safety comes first up in my book in this town. And again, thank y'all for being here.
Dave?
Sure you want me to talk?
As long as you want.
You got the floor, Dave.
The floor is yours.
Well, the Boy Scouts aren't going to learn anything. Absolutely. Thanks for being here, everybody. Appreciate the turnout. I do have a few things I just wanted to talk about. One thing I just wanted to bring to attention, you probably already know about the Chamber of Commerce. They're sponsoring the State of Bedford address next Wednesday, the 12th, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And our very own town manager, Mr. Bart Warner, will be there, and so will the county administrator, I think Mr. Robert Hess. And they'll be just talking about Bedford County, how things are going. I also want to just applaud staff for their patience, professionalism, tenacity, and flexibility with all this stuff going on with the HVAC system and the relocation. They did a bang-up job and did it as seamlessly as possible, along with the outage, the data outage. And also, like Vice Mayor Updike, I don't do Facebook, not at all. It's there's too much hate and vitriol on Facebook, and I just don't do it. But my wife did read me something the other day about, and it was about electric rates, which I totally agree that it's a struggle. It can be a struggle. But I also wanted just everyone to know that it's not like the town, we're not gouging citizens. I looked at my bill, and so I wanted to try to explain, especially it seems like the electric power recovery is always it's the biggest portion of my bill, but it's always the one that's most misunderstood. And it's really like the town of Bedford and the citizens use so much power, and we only generate about 20 to 30% of our own power. So we buy most of our power from a third-party entity. That third-party entity bills us based on usage of the town and the citizenry, and then we pay that bill, and that's what that electric power recovery is. It didn't go to our coffers, it goes to the third party to pay for the power that we are using. So it's not like we're sitting here, for my bill, it's about 70% of my bill. That 70% is not going into the town, it's going to that third-party entity that actually provides us that power. That along the same lines, I just wanted to take note that some people say, well, if I move out of Bedford, we can't afford it, which I understand that as well. But in my pea brain, I did about the cost analysis between the three bigger ones, Apco, Southside, and then Bedford, And from the 1,000 kilowatt, 2,000 kilowatt, and 3,000 kilowatt levels, Bedford came in cheaper in all of those from APCO and Southside. So I guess I'm just saying, if you wanted to move out of Bedford into Bedford County or something, you got one of these carriers, you're going to be paying more than you would be paying in the town of Bedford. So it's not like, again, we're trying to, the town's trying to make money off of this. It's just, we're trying to stay afloat. That's all I got, sir.
You're on the roll now?
I got more time. Okay, well, in that case.
1 minute.
1 minute.
We appreciate that, Dave. Thank you. I don't have much other than anytime I see the Boy Scouts, I have to go on a little spiel here in that I was in Boy Scouts as a teenager. I am an Eagle Scout. Regardless of what my parents said I would never make it, at a certain stage of my life, I did make it. But came back a number of years later as a Scoutmaster. I've hiked the Appalachian Trail. I've been to Boy Scout camp. We went to Camp Powhatan for a number of years. I've been very active in the Boy Scouts and still support it. I do appreciate you all coming and attending. And afterwards, any questions you may have, please come up and ask us. If you need a budget or anything of that nature, which I think some of those requirements want some kind of recommendation or something along those lines. But just ask and we'll get what we can to you. But again, appreciate you all coming. Thank you. All right. Report of council committees, none. Revisions to agenda, there are none. Public hearings, changing the zoning map by rezoning property at tax map number 214-A-132T from R1 district to R3 zoning district. Mr. Warner.
Notice is given of a public hearing to be held by the town council at 7:00 p.m. on Tuesday, August 4th, 2026, for the purpose of hearing a request for a zoning amendment from R1 low-density residential district to R3 high-density residential district with conditional proffers to reduce the lot size to construct 2 single-family dwellings located at the corner of South Street, Ridge Street, and Odie Street on tax parcel 214-A-132T by Piedmont Developments, LLC. Information has been on file in the Office of Planning and Community Development. Anyone who is in favor of or opposed to the request shall now have an opportunity to express his or her views.
Okay, what I will do is I'll open the hearing up and then ask the applicants to come up and make a presentation. Then anyone else who wants to come up and say anything for or against it, you're more than welcome to do. So at this point, public hearing is open, and the applicants, I'd ask you all to come up and give us your thoughts.
Good evening. My name is Joseph Stern. I live in the county at 211 Howard Drive. With me is my business partner, Carter Keller. We're the managing members of Piedmont Developments. We're here tonight asking you to approve our rezoning request at the corner lot at South Ridge and Odie Street from R1 to R3. Carter and I were both raised here in the Lynchburg area. Our friendship started at birth with our parents and even our grandparents being longtime friends. In this community, we're graduates of Bedford's Fire Academy, and we've spent the last near 8 years volunteering with the Boonesboro Fire Department. So I want to be clear about who's standing in front of you tonight. We're not an outside developer coming into Bedford looking for a quick project. We're 2 local guys with generations of family history here, trying to build something in the community, trying to build something good in the community that raised us. We're here tonight to ask your approval in rezoning our request so we can subdivide our parcel and build 2 single-family homes instead of the one that's currently allowed. This lot is sat vacant for some time, and our proffers are straightforward. We would like to build 2 modest, affordable, single-family homes, nothing more. No apartments, no commercial use, nothing that changes the character of the existing neighborhood. We went before the Planning Commission on May 7th, and they voted 5-1 to recommend denial. But we'd like to be clear about why. We believe it was not because of the project itself was a bad fit. Several of the commissioners said outright this development pattern was not out of character for the neighborhood. The vote came down to concerns about spot zoning precedent and proper language that needed to be tightened. So we listened and we went back to work. Here's what we changed. First, our proffers now affirmatively state the property we use for single-family residential use, not just a list of prohibited uses. Second, we committed both lots to a minimum of 8,000 square feet each. That's over 30% larger than the R3 minimum and larger than many of the neighboring lots. Furthermore, this prevents one lot from being squeezed much smaller than the other. Third, we've locked in the access points exactly as the commission asked. One driveway on Ridge, one on Odie, and none on South. And we've also added an affordability proffer, capping the sale price of each home at $325,000, directly tied to an affordable housing range this town's own comprehensive plans outlines and needs more of and calls for more of. We took every concern seriously. We believe what is in front of you tonight is a project that's stronger and more responsive to your feedback than what we presented. I'll now hand it over to Carter to speak of why we believe this project deserves your approval.
Thank you, Joseph. I want to hit 3 points really quick because I know y'all's time is valuable tonight. You've got other things to talk about. But first, spot zoning. We understand this is a concern and we respect it, but the town attorney was clear on the record. Spot zoning is only illegal when it serves no public purpose. When supporting a genuine public purpose, like this project, spot zoning serves as a necessary and effective tool for implementing the town comprehensive plan and delivers the affordable housing that it calls for. The housing and land use goals defined in the plan all point to infill projects like this one and call the town to work with owners and developers to rezone vacant or underutilized parcels and promote the construction of affordable housing. And practically speaking, under the town's existing R1 ordinance, this same lot could already support 2 dwelling units today with an accessory dwelling unit. No rezoning required. So this request isn't creating a new density pattern in Bedford. It's offering a cleaner path to something that the ordinance already allows. Second, traffic and safety. We heard the neighbors loud and clear, but the numbers just don't support a real impact. Odie Street carries about 320 vehicles per day based on the 2021 study. One home is already allowed by right on the lot, which would add about 10 of those. A second home would add another 10, which is less than a 3% increase in traffic. Third, and lastly, this is a modest, needed project. Bedford has made the mission to expand home ownership clear, and your own comprehensive plan says the town needs more homes in the $250,000 to $325,000 range, and there are few of them. We've proved this model works with the recent completion of 511 Odie Street, which we developed last year and finished in February. It was sold quickly at a fair price, just up the road from our requested rezoning, a couple blocks down. This project that we're requesting tonight simply repeats and extends that success in the same neighborhood. We're not asking you to change the character of the home. We're asking for the chance to build 2 well-built, affordable homes on a vacant lot. Homes that add to y'all's tax base, support local contractors, create home ownership in Bedford, all while offering the town a practical path to accomplish your affordable housing goals outlined in the comprehensive plan without compromising the neighborhood character. We respectfully ask for y'all's approval tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. And what we'll do on the new business, when it comes back up, if we have any questions, we'll bring you guys back up and ask the questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else here want to come up and speak on this topic? Just give us your name and address.
Good evening. My name is Catherine Callahan, and I live at 602 Ridge Street, across the street from the lot we're discussing tonight. My husband and I have lived at 602 Ridge for over 15 years. We enjoy living in Bedford and have learned to love and appreciate our neighbors who have literally walked alongside us as we raise our children. We appreciate living in a low-density R1 neighborhood. We like seeing and walking in green grass, having a bit of privacy, and at the same time having a community of neighbors and the convenience of local shops and restaurants. R1 low-density housing allows us to be reminded that it's trash day when our neighbor takes out their trash without us having to see what they've thrown away. It allows us to enjoy our neighbor's fireworks without having to worry about them catching our yard on fire. R1 allows us to see the neighbor's kids riding in the street without having them hear our discussion on the front porch or see what we're bringing in from the car or grocery store. When my husband and I purchased our home, we were pleased to find an affordable house in an R1 neighborhood without having to live too closely to any neighbor for our comfort. Please don't put a driveway outside my front door that empties onto Ridge Street, a road only wide enough for one vehicle and that appears to be collapsing in front of my home a bit more every year. Please consider a traffic study, as Ridge Street currently serves as a primary connection between South Street and Main Street. Please don't build a house under the dying tree at the top of the broken steps that lead from Ridge Street up to this lot. Please know that there are 3 beautiful nut trees on that property that will be dropping walnuts and chestnuts on the roofs and driveways of the proposed houses, as they do on Ridge Street and my front yard. Habitat for Humanity built a beautiful home adjacent to this corner lot. Please don't allow 2 more houses to be built where we expected only 1.
Thank you. Anyone else?
My name is Tina Barker. I live at 608 Ridge Street, and I'm here tonight to respectfully ask the council to deny this rezoning request. First, I want to emphasize that the Planning Commission already reviewed this proposal and voted to deny it. That recommendation should carry significant weight. The commission exists to carefully evaluate whether rezoning requests are appropriate, consistent with Bedford's long-term planning goals, and compatible with surrounding neighborhoods. In this case, they determined that the proposal should not move forward. This property is surrounded primarily by R1 zoning and established single-family homes. Rezoning this parcel to R3 would create a clear incompatibility with the existing character of the neighborhood. This is not a gradual transition in density, it is a dramatic increase. I also asked the council to consider the issue of spot zoning. This request appears to benefit a single parcel rather than to serve a broader public interest or follow a comprehensive plan, which calls for a gradual increase. When one property is singled out for substantially different treatment than the surrounding properties, it raises legitimate concerns about fairness, consistency, and precedent. Surely there is a way to meet the comprehensive plan without the need for rezoning. If it's allowed in our neighborhood, where will it stop? This rezoning could also negatively impact nearby surrounding property values and permanently alter the character of the community. Once the higher density zoning is approved, the effects cannot easily be reversed. Future requests for similar rezonings may follow, gradually changing the entire neighborhood. For that reason, we would ask to keep the protections of R1 zoning. Growth should be thoughtful, planned, and compatible with existing neighborhoods. This proposal does not meet that standard. Per the town comprehensive plan, it brings up Easton Crossing, which is 124 single-family homes now being built and marketed. It's got Governor's Reserve, which is a proposed development planned for 140 single-family homes and 129 townhouses. Harmony, a planned mixed-use community expected to include up to 332 homes, including single-family houses, townhomes, and apartments. Also calls for increasing housing supply gently. Preserving the town's low-density, small-town residential character is a high priority for residents. Some infill development is anticipated on vacant lots or by sensitively increasing density. Still, the scale will be kept consistent with the surroundings. And under the purpose of the rezoning request, it says no adverse impacts to adjoining properties are anticipated. Well, I'm not sure how that could be when one of the houses would be right in my neighbor's front yard, literally. And no increase in traffic or noise with 2 houses instead of 1. Like, how can that be? It's 2. Furthermore, the proposed lots are similar in size, this is the wording, if not larger than all surrounding lots, such as the 2 homes across the street. One is 6,534 square feet, while the other one being 4,991. Well, the rest of our houses should be looked at also. 602 Ridge Street has 9,147 square feet. 608 Ridge Street, complete with a lot in between, has 23,522 square feet. 610 Ridge Street has 25,700. 611 has 13,503, and 533 Odie has 24,393 square feet. In conclusion, there are 2 lots across the street that are the minority, not the majority. And as the majority, we respectfully ask the town council to support the planning commission's recommendation and deny the rezoning request for this property. Thank you for your time and consideration. It's more than I thought it was going to be.
That's okay. Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? For, against, or, okay. I failed to mention, you have 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right. My name is Karen Lundergan, and I live at 533 Odie Street. I recognize that each of you has the responsibility to make decisions that will help shape Bedford for many years to come. I also appreciate the desire to provide housing opportunities for young families and retirees. However, good planning is about more than adding housing. It's about making decisions that balance future growth with the needs of the people who already call Bedford home. The Bedford 2045 Comprehensive Plan serves as the town's guide for that future. According to Section 1, page 36, approximately 45% of Bedford's single-family homes are already owned by people who do not live in them and are used as rental properties. With that in mind, I respectfully ask the council to consider an important question. Will this rezoning truly create more opportunities for home ownership for young families and retirees, or will it primarily increase the number of rental and investment properties? If the purpose of this request is to increase home ownership, I believe that the question deserves a clear, evidence-based answer before permanently changing an established neighborhood. The application relies on a 2021 VDOT traffic count for Odie Street. Do you think that the 2021 VDOT traffic count for Odie Street is compatible with today, as the county population has increased? I also ask the council members to remember the residents who have spent decades building this neighborhood. Many elderly and disabled homeowners purchased their homes when their retirement income or disability benefits allowed them to comfortably afford their mortgage, property taxes, insurance, and everyday expenses. Today, many live on fixed incomes while those costs continue to rise. As Bedford grows, I hope we can do it in a way that allows these residents to remain in the homes they work so hard to purchase and maintain. Helping people age in place should be an important part in thoughtful community planning. We ask the council to consider the cumulative effects of the aging water and sewer infrastructure and the emergency access to the 2 properties being considered. Since property is rezoned from R1 to R3, that decision is difficult to reverse. I respectfully ask the council to ensure that any decision is supported by complete current information and that the long-term benefits clearly outweigh the long-term impacts of the surrounding county. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate it. Anyone else? All right. The hearing. I'm sorry. They told me to put the brakes on, Cindy.
So I'm sorry, but I wasn't going to speak. My name is Cynthia Gano. My address is 1621 Kingston Circle. And just hearing the presentation from the developers brought me back to the Planning Commission meeting that I'm on. And I know that there was opinion given by the town attorney about spot zoning could be legal for greater good. But previously, we've been told time and time again not to allow spot zoning in the town. And one of our biggest concerns was the precedent that it would create if we allowed spot zoning for the greater good on this project. Who actually determines what the greater good is? And we didn't feel like we were in a position to determine that, actually. And the other thing I just wanted to make a comment on the presentation as well. We definitely did not want a driveway on South Street, but we were also very concerned about the driveway on Ridge Street because of the very narrow nature of that street, and really only one car could come through there. So I just wanted to clarify a couple points. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, just because I'm here, I might as well say what I said.
Well, we're glad to see, Mr. Lockerbie, that you could make it. Thank you.
The fire alarm got pulled in the garage where my car was parked, and when there was a fire truck across the front of the garage, it was very difficult to get out. So thank you for your patience.
We waited as long as we could, but go right ahead.
I just wanted to say that spot zoning, it's important to distinguish the legal definition of spot zoning from the planning definition of spot zoning. Having looked this over, I don't think that there's a very good argument for it to be illegal spot zoning. But there are plenty of things that are perfectly legal that aren't good ideas, and vice versa. There's some good ideas that are not legal. So don't necessarily take something being perfectly fine from my standpoint as meaning also that it's a good idea from your standpoint, or that it constitutes good planning as Ms. Zirkle would advise you. I just wanted to make sure you don't think that, I just wanted to make sure that you don't overtake what my advice actually was, which is if you get sued, I feel, for spot zoning, I feel pretty confident about that case. But that's not the same as saying that it's a good idea, although it might be.
Thank you. All right, anyone else that would like to speak? Okay.
Hello, my name is Robert Creasy. I'm an owner over on Odie Street. The side street is not safe. And I'm along with the original people that live over there. And I've been over it many times and had to back up. It's not safe for kids walking or anything. So I don't know about the spot zoning and all this now, but it's all new to me. Think about safety, and it's a lot of people walk dogs, do a whole lot of activities over it, ride bikes. So I don't know where it's gonna go with this, but think about the safety side of it.
Thank you. Anyone else? No one wants? Twice? This hearing is closed. All right. Consent agenda. Mr. Warner, request to close streets, Bedford Center Fest, Central Virginia Business Coalition.
Central Virginia Business Coalition is requesting to close the following streets for Bedford Center Fest on Saturday, September 19, 2026, from 6 a.m. until 4 p.m. The intersection of West Main and Center Street and Washington Street, South Bridge Street and Washington Street, South Street and Washington Street, Depot Street and North Bridge Street with a roadblock set up at Market Square area for downtown business parking, North Bridge Street directly in front of American National Bank to allow for parking in the side lot, Plunkett Street and Depot Street, East Main Street and Odie Street, Court Street and Depot Street with barricades at Goose Creek Studio so cars cannot enter Depot or Court Street from the parking lot area, and the Bedford Farmers Market area. Affected businesses will be notified, as well as the Police Department, Fire Department, and Bedford County Fire and Rescue. Tonight, Town Council is requested to consider the request to close the above streets for Bedford Centerfest on Saturday, September 19th, from 6 a.m. until 4 p.m.
All right, you have the packet in front of you, had time to review it.
So moved.
Any,
Sorry. Let me jump in.
Councilman Haley made the motion, and can I hear a second? Councilman Ippolito, any questions or discussions? I think basically we want Centerfest to happen. You can, Heather, if you want to say a few words. What-
Just real quickly, not noticing, it's the same street closures as it's been the past. I know this is our 48th year of Centerfest, so everything's pretty much remaining the same. No changes, no We actually are operating on a wait list now for vendors. So it looks to be just as big as ever. And it's a good testament to our town community vendors, our ROTC program. Most of our vendors come back because of how helpful they are and how wonderful our community is. So we're just really excited to be able to offer it again this year. That's all I got to say.
And we look forward to it.
Yeah, thank you.
48 years?
48. I haven't been running it that long.
Does that mean we're old?
I was a shiny new policeman when the first one came
Oh,
down.
well, you're telling your age now. All right, any further questions? Charlie?
Mr. Evans?
Aye.
Mr. Foreman?
Aye.
Mr. Foster?
Aye.
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito?
Aye.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mayor Stanley?
Aye.
Motion carries with 7 members voting aye.
All right, no old business, new business. Ordinance changing the zoning map, rezoning property tax map number 214A, 132T from R1 district to R3 zoning district. Mr. Warner.
The subject property located at the corner of South Ridge and Odie Streets is zoned R1. Property transferred through sale from the Town Redevelopment and Housing Authority to the applicants in May 2026. The applicants propose to rezone the property to R3 in order to reduce the minimum required lot size to allow a division of land in order to create a new parcel for a single-family residential use for a total of 2 lots. The 2 lots will be less than the 10,000 square foot minimum of R1, but greater than the minimum 6,000 square foot requirement of R3. The applicant proposed 2 proffers with the request for the Planning Commission. They have provided additional written proffers for Town Council to consider for a total of 6 proffers specific to tonight's request. The Planning Commission held a public hearing on May 7th, 2026. The applicants provided the reasons for the request, noting they had a house constructed nearby on Odie Street that recently sold. Applicants described building housing that is more affordable if they are able to subdivide the property for 2 single-family houses, which is described in the Town Comprehensive Plan for Infill Development. 2 nearby residents spoke, one of which emailed a petition in opposition to commission members. The grandfather of one of the applicants also spoke in favor. Commissioners discussed this request as being spot zoning and the concern for setting precedents for future high-density zoning district requests in R1. They discussed if the property fits in with surrounding small lot sizes, if the lot were to be divided into lots that are smaller than currently there, and where infill development should occur from the comp plan. The Commission discussed a concern with having other R3 uses allowable in the single-family neighborhoods, with the one proffer that restricted uses but did not limit uses to only the single-family residential use. They also expressed concern with the precedent of making the change. There was discussion that this request would add traffic to a narrow street that citizens currently use to avoid travel through downtown. The Commission voted 5-1 with 1 vacancy to recommend denial of rezoning to R3 with the 2 proffered conditions. Tonight, Town Council is requested to consider an ordinance to rezone the property from R1 to R3. Council must also consider if it would accept any of the proffers if the rezoning were permitted.
All right, I'm not going to ask for a motion until we discuss it and go over it, but when I do, we'll, I believe, ask for a motion to either approve or deny. Is that correct?
Mr. Mayor, you would, I believe, make a motion to approve with the proffer statement.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay, what do you guys think? Give me some thoughts, ideas, discussion.
Well, I'll start it off. When Piedmont Development presented this project to the Planning Commission, I said then, I was just as impressed with their presentation as I could be. They had looked at a lot of questions. They had feedback. They really put the time and effort in to make this project look presentable. And tonight, their presentation style doesn't change the way that I feel about this particular company. And whichever way this project goes tonight, I truly hope that we see them back in town doing more work, because they just have a professionalism that like, it's just impressive from my perspective. All that being said, I still can't get around the idea of having a R3 right there in this huge R1 area. You know, and that was kind of why, you know, I voted the way I did at the Planning Commission. You know, not in favor of it. They had a great idea, just not for that particular location, was kind of the way I was feeling on it. And I think you know, those comments have sort of been echoed you know, just a few moments ago. So, but anyway, that's kind of my impression. That was my take on the Planning Commission meeting. If anybody has any questions, maybe I can try to answer those from the Planning Commission's perspective. And we also have another member here that can also help me with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the specific concern about R3 and R1? I mean, with the proffer, I mean, Mr. Lockerbie, does a proffer go legally, permanently down the line forever and ever?
It does. It's a permanent condition that travels with the zoning until council changes it.
So if it's going to be single-family homes, and not high-rises like an R3 can do, what is the, I mean, I'm asking from a Planning Commission perspective, then, what's the?
Mary, what's the definition for the classifications for R1 versus R3?
Are you speaking to the intent of the districts?
Yes.
Well, one provides for a variety of housing types at medium to high density on select sites to create a suitable residential environment for a variety of lifestyles and socioeconomic needs. The other one is appropriate for areas of low density single-family residential development that promotes a suitable residential environment with necessary community facilities and services. It's intended to preserve the predominant character of established neighborhoods with relatively large lots and to afford protection from encroachment of potentially incompatible non-residential and higher density residential uses.
I don't think we can, for me, we can't get around the, how does changing this, how do we get away from it looking like a spot zoning, you know, type of air? And, you know, who does it benefit more than others?
Well, my question would be, what neighborhood do we stop at? Would be my concern. Do we get it for another neighborhood and they ask for it, even where I live, and they say some of the houses are closer together in some of the areas, and then, well, we can put houses closer together in this neighborhood. Where do we determine where it is good and where it is bad? And how are we the ones that determine what the benefit is?
I know that's true, because if you give it to one, you have to give it to everybody else.
Not necessarily.
But you
I'm
know,
just saying, if we're saying that we will always go by what we vote today for something in 2 years, then I think that's wrong. We should look at each application on its individual merits. But I understand what you're saying, but I'm not fighting one way or the other. I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah. That was my concern, but I'm also, we need affordable housing in Bedford, so that's the other side of things. Because the houses we're having built now are not going to be in that price range. And any of the subdivisions that I believe that are going in now are going to be well above that price range.
And I don't know, I mean, I don't have a town inventory of vacant lots that are privately owned, but I don't know how many lots that are out there that can be built on anymore. I just look at it from a perspective. I know that we can look at the comp plan one way or the other, but to throughout chapter 5 of the comp plan, it talks about over and over and over again, it talks about affordable housing, that we need affordable housing. And the community in the study that was put out in that 24 study said, we need affordable housing. That was the majority of the community. So to just kind of dismiss it because we're worried about spot zoning. I know we've talked about it before, and I understand Ms. Gano's concern about setting precedent, but I don't. I think it just needs to be, we need to think about this. I mean, again, because we adopted the comprehensive plan in April of this year, and part of that plan says over and over and over again, I mean, I could read excerpts from it, but you probably read it, but Bedford housing challenge is twofold: diversification and affordability. Infill development on vacant lots within town to provide some of these units. In other words, a substantial majority of the community recognizes the need for more affordable and entry-level homes. And I understand the concerns, but I also want to just lay out the thoughts that we say one thing, or and I'll shut up there, let everybody else talk.
No, we're having a good discussion here.
No, yeah.
Don't stop.
And I think, if memory serves me correctly, just before the planning commission voted on that, we sort of got off on, yes, we had this infill part of our plan, and I think the majority of the commissioners felt, we need to go in and look at this infill process again. Need more detail, something more to help guide council with future projects. And there was also some discussions: do we use this project here as a means to determine which way we go, on that? But I mean, you make very good points. I do feel like just because we say, something, this project is ideal, doesn't mean we have to say that all projects in the future are ideal as well.
I mean, just tell me to shut up, Mr. Mayor.
I would never do that.
One of my biggest concerns is that, because by right, they can build a single-family home on this lot.
Yes.
And they can, I understand, they wouldn't just be flippant about how they site the home and things of that nature if this was disapproved, which is fine, but, they can put, probably, even with one single-family home, they can put the driveway on Ridge Street or Otis Street, even just by right. But my biggest concern is, like this has been voiced, is safety. Like the gentleman that came up at the very end said, that Ridge Street is hazardous. Mm-hmm. And this, I would like to say that for the future, we need to look at maybe blocking it off at South Street and not allowing through traffic through there. But that's another story.
Well, that's what I would, a traffic study would be good to know whether we need to make it one way or two way is the way it should stay. It's always been that way as long as I've been here, but I've always been very cautious when I went up that way through that road because I've traveled it enough. But that is a concern for me also. Mm-hmm. But it's also, I understand what you're saying, because one works, it doesn't mean we have to do another. But does it take away some of our reasoning to say no if somebody else, and you may not say a vacant lot, but what happens if we have a house and it happens in town where there's a fire, the lot becomes vacant because of the fire, and then somebody comes, well, I can develop it if I put two lots on it instead of one, and then it's a question, why wouldn't we do it if we've done it for someone else?
And I think I remember when we gave the lots away, because the lots are actually owned by the town at one time. They were vacant lot.
Right.
And we gave away to the economic development, and we give it to Housing Authority. Okay. Sorry if I messed up. But we did give it to Housing Authority, and I think the suggestion when we gave it to them that it was supposed to be just two lots, that was it. And I think council made that statement that time when we done that, so.
I believe when they brought this spot, it was agreed that they would only build one house on it when it was purchased.
Who's that?
When the housing authority sold this lot to the developers, it was stated that only one house would be built on it. And I agree, you can come back and ask for it to be subdivided, but that was the agreement, I do believe, at that time when it was purchased, that only one house would be built on this lot. Good discussion. Jay, you have anything?
I think it's all pretty much been said.
Yeah. What else? Everything's pretty much been said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nothing else? Does someone want to make a motion to either approve with proffers or deny?
I'll make the motion that, we approve this as proffers, with the proffers. So if you're not against it, if you're not for it, you vote no.
Right. Okay, the motion has been made to approve this with proffers. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilman Foster made the second. Okay, Sean, it's up to you.
Mr. Foreman,
No.
Mr. Foster,
Aye.
Mr. Haley,
No.
Mr. Ippolito,
No.
Mr. Updike,
No.
Mr. Evans,
No.
Mayor Stanley.
No.
Motion fails with 6 members voting no.
All right. We don't have to make any more motions, do we?
No, Mr. Mayor, I think we're all set.
Good, thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay. Alteration of pavement. Working on Longwood Avenue, Mr. Warner.
At a regular meeting on October 8, 2024, Town Council voted unanimously to apply a speed limit of 25 miles per hour to the entirety of Longwood Avenue within town limits. This action was taken in response to a recommendation made by the Public Safety Committee of Town Council on September 24, 2024. At its meeting on March 3, 2026, members of the Streets Committee of Town Council moved to revisit this decision and to consider restoring the previous speed limit of 35 miles per hour in both directions on Longwood Avenue between its intersection with Oakwood Street and its intersection with Grove Street. At its regular meeting on August 21st, 2026, members of Town Council voted unanimously to confirm the speed limit of 25 miles per hour along the entirety of Longwood Avenue within town limits. There is a particular stretch of Longwood Avenue between its intersection with North Street and its intersection of Oakwood Street, where the pavement is particularly wide, as much as 45 linear feet. In order to assist with and promote compliance with the posted 25 mile per hour speed limit, staff has engaged with Hurt and Profit to come up with visual solutions to accomplish that objective. Accordingly, they have submitted a plan to alter the pavement marking by changing the alignment to one lane traveling in each direction with a left turn only lane in the center, as well as 2 bicycle/multimodal lanes on either side of the right-of-way. A sketch of the proposed concept has been circulated with the agenda. Tonight, Town Council is requested to approve the alteration of pavement marking on Longwood Avenue between its intersection with North Street and its intersection with Oakwood Street, as proposed by Hurt and Profit, in order to promote compliance with the posted speed limit.
I'm not going to ask for a motion on this until we talk about it, because I think I have some questions, a little concerns, and I hope you all do too, as has said by some citizens. I kind of expect a little more information on this, and I guess a little better design, and what's the right word, an artist rendering, I guess, as to show it more clearly as to what we have in mind and what direction we're going. And I've also heard concerns about the bike trail. So I think I'm opening it up to discuss.
I think the bike trail needs to go.
Well, I would ask, because we had the same discussion and the same thing that was brought up earlier when we had the discussion about the reverting it back to 35 from 25. We had the discussion and we decided to have, let the public make comments about it. And the majority of the public came back and said they wanted to keep it at 25.
Yes.
So why don't we give an opportunity to hear what the public has to say about the change of this? Hold it for next meeting and have them have a public comment, and then we can have maybe a better rendering like you're
Yes.
talking about.
Right.
And then we can make a better decision at the end of the meeting next month, or 2 weeks from now.
Yep.
And then we give time for the public to come and give us their thoughts on it, and kind of like we did with the speed limit change.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. What do y'all think? We're gonna table this till the next council meeting, correct?
Good. Was there a motion? Mayor?
I move that we table this until the next council meeting.
Second.
Vice Mayor Updike made the motion, Councilman Haley seconded it.
And, well, my only comment will be, are we gonna give a public comment time at the beginning for it, again, like we did for the speed limit change?
We can easily do that, yes. You're on the ball tonight, Mike.
Well, I mean, I don't think for the speed limit, we didn't have a public hearing. It was just during the public comments.
Good to you.
Citizens
okay.
got up and spoke.
Okay, I didn't remember properly, but.
But still, I think that would be a good opportunity to get some input.
It's just like tonight, I mean, we want to hear citizens' concerns. And that goes a long way on our decisions. So, do not ever hesitate to drop us an email or come up and speak during one of the council meetings. We value input. We can't always honor it, but we do value it.
One thing I can say is the similar design was done on Burks Hill. And it did make a difference on Burks Hill somewhat.
And I was
Everybody doesn't like it, but it has
Slow traffic down.
Yeah.
And the bike trail up there, they don't have but one bike trail up there, it's on the right-hand side going up the side with the sidewalk. So
It is hard to get out of Industrial Avenue at times because of it, but
It's difficult to get out of any driveway up there.
yeah.
Well, and I will say, looking at the bike trail, I'm all for that, but when you start at a certain area and basically go down past the cemetery, where do you go from there? I mean, okay, if I'm riding the bike, where am I gonna turn off, or how far can I go? As one gentleman here said, safely.
And you're allowed to ride your bike on the road as
Yeah.
it is now. You can ride it as far to the right as you can. Yeah, as far to the right as you can.
Safety goes beyond bicycles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes to people driving the speed limit and people passing them
Yeah.
on Longwood going 40 or 50 miles an hour. And then when you get close to Oak Street, where it's a turn lane, they still are passing you in
Yeah.
that area. So
Yeah.
it's more than just.
Yeah, they've gone past that, yeah.
So, I mean,
But anyway, I think we talked about the whole part of actually changing the stripe. It was to slow the big trucks coming through town. It was to kind of deter them. I think that was one of the points, if y'all remember.
And I think you're right.
And that means a lot.
Table action.
You know.
Anything else? All right, the motion has been made to delay till the next meeting. Donna?
Mr. Foster?
Aye.
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito?
Aye.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mr. Evans?
Aye.
Mr. Foreman?
Aye.
Mayor Stanley?
Aye.
Motion to table the action passed with 7 members voting aye.
Good deal. All right, I am now going to adjourn this meeting to 6 p.m. on Tuesday, August 18th, for a work session in Council Hall. 6 p.m. This meeting is